I'm not sure making everything from scratch is actually worth it. Take egg bites, for example. I go through a lot of egg bites. It's a great high protein breakfast. I've never actually bought them at Costco before, but every time I walk past them, I'm a little bit tempted. But before I start spending money on something that I could make at home, I wanna know if it's worth it. So today, I am testing it. I'm gonna be testing the cost in terms of dollars, in terms of time, and what this actually looks like in real life, as well as will the kids eat it. And then I'm gonna share those results with you. All right, so I have the Kirkland sous vide egg bites. These are the cheese trio with roasted red pepper. This looks like something that should make my life easier. It costs $12.97 and it's got 11 grams of protein per serving. And here are the ingredients for our DIY version. I'm gonna be making sun-dried tomato, spinach, and mozzarella egg bites. The recipe is from Healthy Mama Meals. I'll drop a link in the description in case you wanna get a hold of it. And now it's time to start the clock and also to preheat the oven. And to keep it really scientific in terms of measuring the passing of time, I'm also gonna start the stopwatch on my watch. So I started with eggs, egg whites, and cottage cheese. Oh, that was super graceful. Oh, anyway, that's a higher protein base. And then I just added some simple spices, nothing fancy, just some salt, some pepper, a little garlic and onion powder, Italian seasoning, just enough to give them a little flavor without overcomplicating it. And then I whisked everything together until it was nice and smooth. This is what gives them that really soft, almost creamy texture, similar to what you find in the ones from Starbucks or hopefully from the ones at Costco. And after that, I mixed in some shredded mozzarella. You could swap this out depending on what you have. Cheddar would probably work really well here too, but that's just what I had on hand. And then I added spinach and sun-dried tomatoes. This is one of those things that you can really customize just depending on what you have on hand or what your family likes. And honestly, this part is pretty simple. It's just a handful of steps, nothing super complicated. It does take a little bit of time to pull everything together though. And then I just poured everything into the molds. So this part always feels a little tedious, but it goes pretty quickly once you get into it. And once everything is in, then they're ready to go into the oven. So from here, the active part is basically done. Okay, quick time check. We're about 19 minutes in and I'm about to put these into the oven. Okay, while the egg bites are in the oven, let's talk some math, shall we? Okay, if you're not a math person, it's totally okay. You might want to skip forward this section. My feelings won't be hurt. You can just go ahead and meet us in the taste test section. For those of you who do love math, I am going to walk you through the exact ingredient breakdown, the exact per serving cost of the DIY egg bites. I've got a little note card here because I don't want to forget everything. I'm not going to walk you through all of the calculations, but for example, so I bought a carton of egg whites. I didn't use the entire carton, so I'm just going to count the portion of the carton that I used. So I used 6 eggs, $3.40. I used 1 cup of egg whites at $1.62. I used a half cup of cottage cheese, which worked out to 76 cents. 3/4 cup of shredded mozzarella, which was $1.38. I used a cup of spinach, or 54 cents, and a half cup of sun-dried tomatoes at $1.80. And then I had all those spices on hand. This is just like a rough guess, but I estimate I used about 30 cents worth of spices. So that brought the total batch cost to $9.80, which works out to 82 cents per bite, or if you assume that a serving is 2 bites, it works out to $1.64 per serving. For those of you who really geek out on the numbers, like spreadsheets are your love language, I will include a full cost breakdown in the description below if you want to see all of those details. But for the rest of us, $1.64 per serving is all you really need to know. Now compare that to Costco. The package cost $12.97, And there are 10 bites in the package, so that works out to $1.30 per bite, or if you assume a serving size of 2 bites, it works out to $2.60 per bite. So financially, it is cheaper to make them at home by about $1 per serving. So yes, the DIY version is cheaper. However, that doesn't automatically mean it's worth it. Whether or not it's worth it depends on a number of other factors, but more on that later. All right, now it's time to take the egg bites out of the oven, and they actually, I think they turned out pretty well. They smell really good. All right, now it's time to road test these egg bites. I have my volunteer taste tester here. Are you gonna give me an honest opinion?
That depends on how honest you want it to be. Honest or kind?
Okay.
I'm joking.
You can be honest, just don't be rude, okay? All right, so, but because I don't want to lead the witness, we are going to do this as a blind taste test. Stand by. All right, so you feel the plates?
I'm not going to tell you which one's which just based on how they feel.
Okay.
This one's store-bought.
How can you tell?
Because it's flat.
Oh, interesting, okay.
Yours are all bumpy.
Bumpy, okay.
What?
This is a taste test.
Mm-hmm.
Are they good?
They're very juicy, but I like it.
Okay. Now try
This one doesn't fit.
the other one.
They're both good.
They're both good. Okay, I guess I'll take that. Would you be excited about either one of this showing up on your breakfast plate?
Yeah, but I make my own breakfast.
Okay. Well, hey, you can make your own breakfast by heating up the leftovers of either one of these. All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
So who is this for? Well, first off, if you really enjoy having control over the ingredients, then definitely makes sense to make it yourself. I was able to use some organic ingredients and it was still $1 cheaper per serving. And you could bring that cost down even more if you just bought the cheapest of everything. However, that being said, it did take an hour. So if you're in a season where you have more money than time, you know, I think it's just kind of, it's a situation of good, better, best. I mean, the organic homemade version, yeah, that's great. But I mean, the version from the Costco box is still good and is probably better than anything you'd pick up from the drive-thru. So yeah, good, better, best. Hey, I'd love to know, what is one item that you regularly purchase at Costco, but you're wondering if it makes sense to DIY? Drop it in the comments. Who knows, maybe I'll turn this into a series, Costco versus DIY. So today we talked about breakfast. If you'd like to know how I take the stress out of dinner, I will link that video in the description below. Thanks so much for spending part of your day with me today, and I'll see you over there.